said, listen, you want to marry my daughter? You're going to learn Italian.
You better speak Italian.
You're gonna learn
With a Qatari that speaks Italian, that speaks Spanish, that speaks Portuguese. What else do you speak?
English.
English,
Arabic. Hey, that's crazy.
Mandarin's the next.
He's like what's called Thanos with the Infinity Stones.
You got them all. I got them all. Let me tell you a bit about my story. So I was born in Qatar. Right?
Okay, yeah.
After being in Qatar for 2 years, I went to the US.
Okay.
North Jersey.
Yo, you went to Jersey, okay.
North Jersey, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, oh, that's what I tell people. Because when I tell them New Jersey, they're like, they're like
suburbs, boy.
armpit of the US, you know. Like, no respect anymore, you know what I mean?
Now, but you know, now that you said that, I know this is gonna. But did you have that Italian accent growing up?
Oh, of course.
Hey, Tony, get over here.
Get over here.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah. And it was definitely,
Wow.
It got on to me, you know what I mean? But growing up in New Jersey, for example, there's a lot of Italians around, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Italian Americans, right? Because now I'm married to an Italian. I know what real Italian is, right? So I always, because they wouldn't even talk Italian.
Yeah.
They would talk always
Just English with an accent.
you know what I mean? And then when I could hear Italian or when I see it on TV or whatever, I was like, yeah. So whatever. I went on my life. I went from the US. I went to Brazil.
Wow.
And I learned Portuguese in Brazil.
Okay.
Because it was mandatory in school. I went to an American school there. It was mandatory to learn Portuguese.
Okay.
Because also in Brazil, no one speaks
English.
Very little amount of people speak English. So they want to prepare you for the outside world, right?
Yeah.
So I learned Portuguese. And then after that, I went to Canada University, whatever, English as well. But I came back to Qatar. When I came back to Qatar, after being here for a year or a year and a half, I met Valeria.
Wow.
Valeria's father, Mr. Corrado. Okay, he's a very special guy, you know. We get along very well. We're really good friends, actually. But he told me directly to my face, he said, listen, you want to marry my daughter? You're going to learn Italian.
You better speak Italian.
You're going to learn Italian.
I like that.
There's no other option here.
No if buts or babies.
No other option because in their house it's only Italian, right?
I respect that.
Even when someone's speaking English in the house, like say for example, my wife and her sister are speaking in English. Her dad, my father-in-law, stops the conversation. Says, enough. I don't want to hear English. I need Italian here.
I actually like that.
So it was in my best interest to learn Italian. Because I would have been sitting in a corner in time out. Would have been able to understand anything. You know what I mean?
My mom does that with Somali.
That's all right. I was gonna ask about that.
But at the same time, she doesn't speak English. So is Mr. Corrado like that? Does he speak English?
He speaks English, yeah, but very very strong Italian accent. Because these Valeria's parents, they learned English a little bit later in life. You know, they
So
were
they have the accent.
born and raised in Italy.
Yeah.
And then they came to Qatar in their like late 30s, 40s.
Okay.
Actually.